somebody is going to be purchasing a giraffe charm from me. And someone else wanted the tutorial on that, so I've never done a tutorial before when it comes to charms, so bear with me. This is the giraffe tutorial. Enjoy. Okay, so you're going to need this tool for the end of it. It is a pointed tool. I don't know the real name for it, but still, you're gonna need it. Then one of these knives. And I like using these rather than the really long ones, which I do have, but I like these more because this has a point to it, and you know, it's just a lot easier for me. But you can use whichever knife you have on hand. And I have this, it's just to sand out like the hair and stuff after you baked it, in case you do get hair in it. I don't normally that much, but it's always nice to be presentable when you send people things, especially when you're selling them. And you're gonna need, this is an eye pin, and it's gonna be going on the very top of this right here, the cork. You're just gonna be pushing that right on through. Of course, I won't be doing that right now because we're gonna do the giraffe first. So here's the little bottle. This is, I believe, a 1.5 milliliter. I also have a 1 milliliter, which is a little bit smaller, but we'll be using this one today. Okay, this is like a macaroni and cheese color, and I have this image here to look at while I'm making it. Always have an image by you unless you're just like really that cool and artistic that you can just think up something, but I can't, so just add a little bit more yellow. You should always have more clay in your hand, just so you know. It's always better to have more than less, because then you're like, oh man, I gotta get that color back. So just always make like a big ball of clay, not too big. I mean, like this size, don't use this big. Just about this size. It's good because you won't even be using the whole thing anyway if you think about it. It's like the same size as the bottle. So let me just get through this. Okay, so I have this yellow. Be sure to make more yellow than orange mixed together. See, I had this to start out with, and then I added more yellow, so it ended up very nice. And so you're going to need this color. It can be any acrylic paint that you want. It is a brown, of course. I forgot to mention that your work surface should always be clean and free of debris. So we have these little wet one cloth. Clean off the work surface area. So that should be nice and cleaned. And then to dry it off, just use any regular tissue or paper towels. Okay, so this is going to be the body size, and I don't know if you are good with making things this small, but in order for it to fit in this little bottle, you always want to measure it. And I mean, you can get a bigger bottle so it's a little bit easier for you, but I like things small. Most of my charms are really, really small. And I like to put as much detail as I can because it just makes it cute. The smaller the better, you know? So this is going to be the torso, which is the midsection. Right there. And everything else has to be a lot smaller than that. So let me just create the rest of the body. Okay, so all I'm doing here is making 4 small balls. And these are going to be the legs. And I'm sure you can see them from here. These are a little bit smaller than the torso. And then you're going to take a little bit more clay, and this will be for the neck. And again, you have to eyeball it because necks aren't that long, but you can make it just too long if you don't do it right. Let's see. I'd say that's about right. This is a good size for the neck. So you have these. Remember, the torso always has to be bigger. And if you want to make a little tail, you can add a little bit more clay, and that'll be just for the tail, about that big. And these are very, very small. So now we can put everything together. You will need this tool, and this is to smooth out the legs, and that way they look like they're actually attached to the torso, per se, just dangling there. So let's get the torso ready, and all you're gonna do is roll it into the shape that it needs to be, which is kind of like an oval, almost an egg shape, but the tip's not as, you know, pointed, if you must say. So it should look something like this. Okay, and that will be the neck. And what you're gonna do here with the legs is just roll them out, not too long, because legs are not that long. They're pretty long, but not too long. And they all have to be the same length. So that one's just a little too long, so we're just gonna cut that and discard that. And same for the others. Okay, so with this tool, you are going to work, and as you turn, mold it into it so it looks correct and it doesn't look half bad at all. Half bad at all. I don't know really how to explain how to make this, so I just kind of do it. This is what it's going to look like. It's kind of like a teardrop, but flattened on one side, because you're gonna have to stick it on. And if you want, instead of having them stick out from the side like that, you can have them going back like the picture shows. That way you can fit it for sure, because it's gonna be able to fit based on the size of the torso. So I think it's best to just have the ears like poking backwards, as opposed to towards the side. So that's something you should probably think about. And what you're gonna have to do is place it on the side, okay, wool, if you will, to smooth out those legs. And again, you have to make your measurements. If not, you are screwing yourself over big time when you try to put it in there. Do you see what I've created here with just this little tool? Do you see what I'm saying? Legs. And then we're going to get to the brown clay, which is going to be the mane. Okay, this is a very delicate process. That's why I really can't record at the same time. So what you basically do, and if you can see the ears and the horns, don't mistake those little black things for eyes. They are not eyes, those are the little horns. Get some brown clay and stick the tips on, and if you need like a needle or, sorry, excuse me, the tip of this will even work to put it. Okay, my camera is running out of memory. Yay! So the last part is the mane. You're just going to take a little piece of brown clay and cut it in half diagonally, and then you're going to be taking, it can be a needle or whatever you'd like. I have a needle in here actually, so I'll just use that. You're just gonna like slice and dice it. This is like the funnest part. You just make all kinds of weird zigzags in it. It doesn't matter how it looks. And my camera's dying too, yay. So I really hope you like this video. I'll have a picture at the end of what it looks like, and I'll explain the rest in pretty much images, because my camera sucks. So I thank you for watching. And before it dies, I'm just gonna show you what to do next after you've done the neck right there.